7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2.
Two, 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 two. Oh, are you drunk?
Just go. Just go.
Hey, hey, our countdown to get into this podcast is fantastic. I'm leaving this in. How's it going? My name is James P. White. That is Chris Mooney. We are professional podcasters. If you don't believe it, listen to our countdown getting into it. And this is the Bald and Short of It podcast. This is episode number, we're on 32.
We are
Wow,
so, yep.
fantastic. Uh, we've got a lot going on the podcast. A lot of really cool stuff. I heard a rumor that we have a special guest. We'll get into that in a bit. I'm actually really excited uh, for a lot of things. We have Super Bowl is this weekend, right?
Yep, this Sunday.
This Sunday, and we'll get into that. But we're going to be at Sherbrooke. Uh, and how's it going, man?
Not bad. Not bad at all, buddy. Kind of missed you a little bit. We hung out on Friday a little bit, but then you had a date, so we had to sort of go our separate ways. But I am
I
looking
went to
forward to
see a
this.
concert, man. It was a fun show.
Like I'm looking forward to this Friday, because they have their. I don't know if I told you this. They have their grand opening, and I secured for us some spots.
Yeah, we were talking about going to the grand opening. I actually
Yeah,
forgot to put it in my calendar. But yeah, at the Druid, we went to the
yeah,
Druid for the first, the new Druid. It's over what used to be Mercer.
yeah.
It's a cool little place. It
Mhm.
reminds me of the old Druid, like the same wood, like the same like windows, like in the
Yeah,
booths.
they did a good job of. I mean, it's not obviously it's not the same. And I mean, if you've ever been to Mercer, or I think they called it Home and Away or something after that, if you've ever been to either of those places, you can't change that they have those kind of like garage door type deals. Um, and it still feels a little warehousey, but they got the Irish vibe, and they a lot of the kind of separate rooms, like they have actually little sitting kind of cozy areas that that the Druid was kind of famous for. Um, so yeah, no, it all I felt at home there anyway, and that was our first time there last Friday. That was last time I saw you. Um,
Yeah, because when we went there before, um, we went to go see Offspring, and then Johnny and I came back and had a couple of drinks after Offspring there.
oh, how was the show?
Oh, it was fantastic. It was a great show. Um, I did post a video uh on Facebook of me watching the concert because give people the day in the life of a midget, like where I'm standing there watching the concert and I'm basically seeing the back of people's heads and asses. Um, so like,
But you enjoyed it though.
oh yeah, it was a great time. It was a lot of fun. Offspring live is fantastic. Bad Religion was great. Um,
Oh, like yeah, just background anybody listening. So, friend of the podcast, Johnny, who's currently in Mexico. Shout out to John. Um, he and Jimmy got tickets to see Offspring at Rogers, and the I hadn't been to the new Druid, and it's right across the street. So I thought, well, let's have a few drinks there, and I didn't have tickets, but then I got lots of stories of having, getting tickets at the last minute on StubHub or something, and somebody's reselling and they've given up. And um, I don't like either of those bands at all, like at all. But then I thought, if I go, and you guys paid a pretty penny for your ticket.
yeah, we had pretty good seats.
Anyway, I, Andrea told me a couple days later that one of Rashan's friends got like drink rail tickets, like in the section close to the stage for like $60. You wait after a couple songs after the show starts and all that kind of thing. And I'm like, oh, I should have stuck around, but I'm like, I would have fucking hated it anyway. So
Son of a bitch. Those would have been better seats than what I had because I was a few rows above the drink rail, like near the stage, but with people standing in front of me. But that's
drink rail would be ideal for you if you could get up
yeah.
there. Just because of the midgetry or whatever, like so you can see better. Nobody's in front of you.
Why does why does everything that you have has a tree at the end of it? Midget tree, faggot tree, homa tree. I don't know.
My
Like
ball
how
sack.
many trees do you have? Ball sack a tree. Um,
No, it's got a tree at the end of it.
you have issues. Um, so so yeah, that was a great show. We had a good time. Um, Now we always talk about our week, and I realized something this week, and again, kind of getting into the day in the life of a midget, ish. Um, I have a huge pet peeve, and I wrote it on here, and I want your opinion, Mooney.
Yep.
Uh, Two things: something that guys do and something that women do, and why do I need to see your underwear? Like I'm not saying that to you specifically, but women
Like
who
you
wear
mean
like the G, like
you kind of
women that
have to
wear G
before we
string.
get down to it. I mean,
No,
unless you
but
want me.
but what I mean is like women that wear like granny panties or even
Yep.
G strings and pull them way up so that they're way above your pants line.
Yep.
Like why do I have to see your underwear? For one, and two, with guys that wear their pants below their fucking ass. Like
Yep.
why do I like underwear? The purpose of underwear is under your clothes. What under your clothes means is your clothes should be over top of your underwear, not
Of the
visible.
underwear.
Yes, I like I've had a couple of situations where I've seen you know women like actually young girls that I've worked with or work with that have them just ranked all the way. Like, why? Why do I need to see that? Like, it it's something that got to my that kind of triggered me this week.
Clearly, but is that still a thing? Like I remember a few years back, you'd see fellas walking around with their pants around their knees and the whatever. I haven't seen it as much lately. Ladies, it's not a good look. I don't know. Like there should be a public service announcement reminding people it's not a good look. But I haven't really, to be honest with you, seen that much in it lately. With
I
fellas.
I have I have in both cases
Hmm.
because there still are some that like teenagers, early 20s that still have their pants down. Like I don't even know why they wear pants other than just to cover their freaking legs. Like it makes no sense. Like if if my pants pull a little bit and it's on my ass cheek, I get annoyed. That's why I wear a belt and I always have to tighten it up. Like I
Well,
don't
I
know
don't know
how
if I
people
go
can
that
wear it below
far,
their ass.
Abby.
Oh, lick my ass.
Speaking of which, uh, Uh, do you have your scale handy?
Yes,
Because
yes, I do. We have to do a weigh-in, and I'm not
yeah, like
impressed.
little
I don't.
background, if for those of you that haven't followed us the last couple of weeks, but Jimmy had the resolution of the no liquor. Oh, speaking of which, what are you
It's
getting after?
no beer.
No
Okay, so
beer, no beer.
I have a couple of things. I have a couple of things going on. This I've never tried before, but they are still low calorie. It's Copper Club Vodka Mule,
Ooh, never
which
seen that.
which uh, which which I was looking at the recipe. I can make my own
Well, yeah, it's a
without the sugar. It's
Moscow Mule.
yeah. So I got that, and then I've got the Trulies going on.
Oh, the Trulies. I am I'm back to the old standard favorite
You're
old
back.
Tennessee whiskey.
You're back to the Jack,
It's not a bourbon,
okay,
it's a Tennessee whiskey. Um,
but it's still
uh,
Jack. Um,
oh, that's another thing. On Friday, I was calling you Vizzy. That should be your new nickname.
I'm tired of people coming up with nicknames. I on my previous radio show, like I wish I could find that list. I probably have it
Whoa,
somewhere.
whoa, whoa! Hit the brakes, Vizzy.
I had a list of when I was with the locker room. I worked with them for like uh, over 9 year, almost 9 years, and I had like 75 nicknames. Pink Eye um was one of them. I never had pink eye, but there was a situation once um where my nose was in a stripper's ass in a picture. Um, like there's a number of nicknames. I'll try and find the list before our next podcast. But I'm gonna go do the weigh in right now. I'm gonna go weigh
Okay,
myself.
yeah. So, little background. About 3 weeks ago, because one of Jimmy's resolutions was fast food, cutting out that, cutting out beer, and at least minimum 5 minutes exercise a day. And so, about 2 weeks ago, I want to say maybe three, probably three. He weighed himself, and he had actually gained 13 pounds. Was it 13? You gained
16.
16 pounds
16.
since the beginning of the year, despite cutting out beer, fast food, and actually exercising a little bit. So we're returning back to that
Yes.
situation. And what's the damage?
Yes. I am 143.6.
And what were you when you had gained 16?
I'm trying to find it right now. I'm in the wrong folder.
One of the things about running a show, Jimmy, is being prepared.
Yeah, and it's a great thing about that.
Just as a
Also, it's a
talent, I
great,
mean,
but it's also a great thing about um being part of a show and being as important as I am in my life. Uh, I don't give a shit what you think.
okay, all right. Well,
So
that's allowed.
fe- February 3rd, or sorry, today is is it the 3rd or the 2nd? It's the 3rd.
It's a third.
February 3rd, I am 146. No, wait, what did I say? One 143.4.
So you're now at 143.4.
143.4. And on June 20th, I was 149.2.
Okay, so there's okay, I'm confused. I'm not good with the numbers. So
I've
let's
I've
start.
lost I've lost 6 pounds, a little less than 6 pounds since January 20th.
Okay, well, but let's start at January 1st. What did you
Okay,
weigh up?
January 7th was my first weigh-in. I weighed 131.8.
And now you weigh.
But then all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, I somehow gained 18 pounds, which makes no sense. But now I'm in the decrease. So I'm figuring there must have been some water retention or shit retention or something. Like,
I don't know
because,
whether to clap for you or slap you across the face.
no, but because the thing is though, is like when I weighed myself on the 20th, I was a little bit constipated, I guess. I didn't realize until then
Okay.
that I had shits in 3 days, but now like my shit schedule is back to normal. And
All right. So, what else did you do with the week?
what else did I do with the week? Not
Did
really
you have
much.
Bible study?
No, I didn't make it to Bible study this week. Oh, because I've been in kind of cleaning mode. I was supposed to go to Bible study yesterday, but I ended up not going because my landlord, he's has another couple looking at the building, wanting to buy. And so I've been cleaning because the last time they came, it looked like, about 6 midget slobs live here. So I've been kind of cleaning things and sorting, like, in the last 3 days. I threw out 8 bags of shit that I just have to get rid of.
So all's well in Dagobah then.
Oh, in Dagobah. Yeah. But,
All
but
right.
yeah,
Well,
but he is gung ho on selling the place. And you know what? Let's get into that real quick because I'm kind of freaked out about that. And in our prep, we were talking about it, and it kind of
okay.
links to the week. It kind of links to the week. How do you
Okay.
react to change?
I want to park that and talk about it after, because
Okay.
uh, we have a guest kind of waiting. So
Oh, shit. Oh, our guest
I'm
is
very,
here. Awesome.
yeah. I just wanted to
Fantastic.
talk about one other thing um, about my week was my niece Davany. She is she started out from high school. I think her first year she went to university and she kind of didn't really like it, and um, she's always been very much drawn to media and television and that kind of thing. So uh, you know, um, she was very much encouraged by her mom and eventually us, although you kind of place a premium on the university thing, which I less and less believe. But and so she decided to pursue radio television arts at Nate, and this is her second year, and she's on the dean's list. And my sister let us, and she and my sister both let us all know that she's got a radio show now every Wednesday, and last Wednesday was the first one, and the second one's tomorrow, February 4th. But and I thought, well, it's my niece, I'm going to support her, and Andrew and I tuned in, and my goodness, it was fantastic. It was wonderful. It was just like a old throwback radio show like we used to listen to back when before the internet and stuff. And it's like alternative hour or blues hour or whatever. And um, her show is every Wednesday at 6. It's called Turntable Rebellion, and it's just definitely a little bit of throwback music mixed in with some commentary. And I have to tell you that I was listening to support her, but after actually having spent an hour with my ear to the speaker, I'm going to be a regular listener because it's a fantastic little show she's got. And I think it's all vinyl, but we're getting her on right now. Her name's Davany. She's the host of Turntable Rebellion on nr92.com. That's NateRadio92.com every Wednesday at 6. So without further ado, um, we'd love to welcome my niece, Davany. We're just waiting for her to get her ducks in a row here. It sounds like she just got her audio hooked up.
Hi.
Hello, it's the famous host of Turntable Rebellion on NR92, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Well, welcome, Davany. We're really happy to have you.
I'm happy to be here.
That's great. And hopefully when you listen back to the cast, you'll hear our introduction. But I know I already texted you and all that, but I was very impressed by the show, and it sounded awesome, and it was really a nice, wonderful throwback. So we have a few questions for you. How did you feel? That was your first show, huh?
It was. I'm gonna be honest, last week was a very long week. I had a lot of assignments, and I feel like with my prep, I was maybe like 70% of the way there. So I was mostly going off of like, I was reading the liner notes or something. But um, this show coming up, I am intending to be a lot more focused. But yeah, no, it was definitely nerve-wracking. I had only been at the controls a few times before, just in class, because we have labs and stuff. But I also found that it was a great experience to get more time in the control room because I only get so much when I'm getting assessed. So I definitely feel a lot more comfortable in the room.
Yeah, well, it came across. There was a few pauses, like where I was kind of laughing, like
My mom was
some-
too.
yeah, like like I'll have to ask you about that, but it's almost like you're listening to somebody talking or telling a joke or something, and they go, and then the priest said,
Yeah. Yeah, there was some of that.
and no, it was funny. It was I like I said, I can't say enough about how much I enjoyed the show, and your song selection was impeccable. I love that. Like it was mostly 80s stuff that I caught.
Yeah.
And some 70s stuff too. Like, well, making movies came out. Yeah, some of it was 70s, but everything flowed really well, and I like the fact that you weren't just playing hits. Like there was some beloved deep tracks that came out there too, and yeah, more commentary, please, because
Yes.
it feels a lot more intimate. It's like
Yeah.
you're in a that's the one thing I love about, or the one real virtue of vinyl is it's like a ritual. If you have friends over, it's not like your phone or a Bluetooth speaker that you can carry from room to room. That turntable's in that room,
Yeah,
and there's a
exactly.
ritual involved with that where you unwrap it and you can look at the liner notes, like you said, which I used to love to do. And there's something ritualistic about it, a little more intimate. And your show definitely comes across like that. Jimmy, questions?
Oh, I have some, one of which I listened as well. He sent me the links. You sounded fantastic. When you said it was your first
Thank
show, I
you.
was like, wow. For a first show, you sound better than I did being 10 years in radio. Um, like you were awesome. I was really quite impressed. I was impressed with like how you did talked and made the music personal. Like when a song would come up and you go, "Well, I went to that concert a couple of years ago with my family," and I'm like, you had me engaged because you were talking about you. There's some jocks that I've worked with over the years that are all music nerds, that are all, well, that album came out in 1986 and so was the studio guitarist, but he's not and I'm like, but you talked about you and how the music made you feel and what it reminded you of. And that shows your personality. I was really impressed.
Thank you.
When you said your first show, I was like, wow, I should have learned from her. Um, like I'm gonna try. I will actually send Chris some of my first stuff because when I started in radio, I didn't go to school. I
Yeah.
just kind of fell into it. I just fell into it. I'm a midget that dresses up like a leprechaun and does stupid stuff. And they say, "Hey, do you want to join radio?" And I'm like, "Okay." Um, and I've always worked with someone else. And then I started doing a late night show, like from midnight till 2, which was a pre-recorded. And
Mhm.
some of the stuff I sounded like I had no idea what I was doing. And you sounded fantastic. I
Thank
was
you.
really impressed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no. Oh,
go ahead.
sorry. No, I really appreciate the feedback. I mean, for the most part right now, I think my listener base is just family and friends. Like I have a bunch of classmates who listened as well, and I really appreciated getting that feedback from my peers. So, yeah, no, that's awesome. I'm glad that people are enjoying it.
And that's a kick-ass name too, Turntable Rebellion. Like that could
Yeah.
be a band name too. Like I've been in lots of bands since I'm 16, and I think without exception, all of our names sucked. You spend a week on a band name and it sucks. You got like your first radio show's got got a very kick-ass name. I have to give you credit for that.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask. There's a couple questions I had for you. Um,
Okay.
your program, do they still call it Radio Television Arts?
No, so now they've focused it more around media and production. So I believe
Yeah.
now it's called radio and media production. So it's not just limited to radio. We're also learning some video stuff. We're learning journalism, writing news stories.
Yeah.
So all sorts.
Yeah, that web page that features the show NR92, you could see that that's sort of the forum that the students use, right?
Yeah.
Um, I love how they do that practical education at Nate. As a complete aside, they have like a Nate like butcher shop that all the
Yeah.
and that's super cheap and it's really good. I don't know if you stop by there, Dave, but
I walk by it
um,
every day, and you know what? They even have like fresh ice cream and stuff. Like it's pretty
yeah,
crazy.
and that
Yeah.
and bread and stuff too. Like, but
Yeah.
I every couple months I go there and I fill my basket. Like, most of it's
Yeah.
frozen anyway, and it's like it's such a good deal. But
It is.
I digress. Um, so with the show, do you? is it all vinyl? Like, are we talking like old school WKRP, like spinning discs?
Yeah, that's it. They have a turntable at the station. They've probably had it for many years now. It just kind of has been untouched. I had to dust it off a bit. But yeah, no, it's hooked up to the system and everything. As for me, the controls are pretty much the same as if it was just an automatic one, like their regular system. And yeah, no, I'm bringing my own personal stuff from home. I go through everything like over the weekend and I put together the albums I'm going to bring in. And yeah.
Um, yeah, so that's like almost like a throwback to like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So
Like,
you pick your own music and everything.
I do.
Well, so I've never run like being in radio. Everything we did was through Wide Orbit or through
Yes.
like that was all digital. And you're not only picking the music, you're doing the DJ and you're firing the discs. That's
I am.
fantastic.
Yeah. It's a one woman show.
that's
So
awesome. Like,
did you choose to do it as a turntable thing?
I did, yeah, and that's kind of where the name comes from, because for me, a lot of the music that I listen to is all this stuff that I discovered through my vinyl, and I think I can really credit that to about 6 years ago was when I really got into that. So, now, like, of course I do use, Spotify when I'm out, but when I'm at home, I'm listening to my records. And I wanted to come up with a way, some sort of show that I could kind of share that music, because I have a lot of friends who are like, they're into older music as well, but they're always asking me like, hey, do you have some albums you can recommend? So I feel like for me, this show is a really great opportunity for me to share the stuff I'm listening to and that maybe other people will want to listen to as well.
yeah, Dave Nee has a wonderful palette. Like, we've been talking music, gosh, since for as long as I can remember with you. And, birthday gifts and stuff, record
Yeah.
store, gift cards, all that kind of stuff. And, um, yeah, and how many of those records did Colette lift from our parents that
Oh
actually I
my
would
gosh. Well, that was like when I first started it,
bless my
really.
sister, by the way, for
Yeah.
those who are listening.
It
Her
was.
mom, my sneaky conniving sister that stole all the vinyl from our parents' house.
Yeah. You know what though? I really cherish it. Like I handle that stuff with care.
I
And like
cherished it too, and your mom just robbed it from me.
yeah. Yeah, no, like a lot of that stuff, and like even some of that stuff belonged to Papa. Like there's a lot of Gordon
Oh
Lightfoot in
yeah,
there,
yeah.
like the Grease
Ooh.
soundtrack. There's like Rod
Sundown. He's got
Stewart,
Sundown, I think, on
Sundown,
vinyl.
yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
great record.
So and I
Um,
love listening to that one.
uh, and like another question that occurred to me was they don't have like, I mean, they've had that radio station there at Nate probably forever,
Yeah.
and they don't have like a vinyl collection themselves. I'm
No,
sure.
actually they do.
Oh wow.
They do. I've looked through it a little bit. I'm gonna be honest. It's not all in the best condition. There's some
Mhm.
skips, there's some scratches. But no, they do have a collection, and the cool thing about it is that they have the radio promotional pressings of them. So like they'll have the ones with like the edits, like the
Yeah,
ones that were specially sent out to the radio stations.
yeah. Uh, your mom used to work at a record store called A&A Records in Southgate,
Yes.
and when we were kids, when I was in high school, and by the time I stopped collecting cassettes, I had over 400. I would
Wow.
spend all my money on cassettes. I would go to Sound the Record Man at West Edmonton Mall and never leave with less than one. Um,
You're
and
dating yourself, dude.
yeah, I know. And then yeah, my iPod before I started streaming had 121 gigs of music because I converted
Wow.
everything. Anyway, your mom when she worked at A&A, every so often she would get a promo copy like of a cassette. Now, if it was a record, there'd be a hole punched in the corner.
Yeah.
That meant that it was a promo. And if it was a cassette, there'd be a little ironed out thing on the spine of it, like a little chunk cut out. And she used to get her hands on some of that stuff. And she did get me into a lot of music, like I'm sure she has you.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
but yeah, it definitely comes out in the show, and but the show really breathes too. And again, like when I talk about the intimacy of sitting around like people did 40, 50 years ago, with their records and chatting and spinning the turntable. The show has that sort of ethereal feel, and it feels a little intimate, like we're in a room listening to music together. So bravo. Um,
Yeah, thank
Another
you.
question I had was, because it's a challenge that I don't want to say it's a big challenge because we're not really a music podcast, but when we were doing our intro music, we wanted to do "Doing It Our Way" by Laverne and
Oh,
Shirley. Me and me. And
Yeah.
but then there's like, you can't use it with without the licensing challenges.
Yeah.
Now obviously
but
Nate's a
but
how does
at
that work?
Nate they can because they pay for SOCAN. Like
That's correct.
we could technically, Chris, we could do it if we paid for SOCAN, but it's for a small podcast like us, it's not worth the money. But
Small. Speak for
radio
yourself.
but radio stations as well as at Nate, they
Yeah.
do pay SOCAN, so
Well,
Yeah.
they
they
can
trade
play
on it.
whatever music they want.
Do you know what it costs?
Ooh.
It's not cheap.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can imagine. No, well, that's good that you don't have to worry about those challenges, Davey.
Yeah.
And uh, and so the other thing is that's it's live every Wednesday at 6. Turntable
Yeah.
Rebellion on nr92.com,
Yes.
and that's Nate exclusive.
Yes.
Well, I mean it's on the web, so it doesn't.
It's on the web. Yeah. Yeah, like there you can't, turn on like your radio in the car and tune in, but there's the TuneIn app, and then there is the that portal on their website you can listen to directly from the
Yeah,
website. So yeah.
if it's on TuneIn, I think like if you were driving or something, you could.
Yeah, for sure. Like just
You just say
Bluetooth it.
play NR92,
Yeah.
right?
Is it on like can you get it on Spotify and all that as well?
I don't believe
Or
it's
no?
on Spotify. No.
Yeah, well, it's something to think about in the future for an aspiration, Davey.
Yeah,
Just for
I'm
fun, just for
putting
yourself.
up
Like
the
you could do it
episodes.
yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
awesome.
definitely something I'm considering. Once I have a bit more, like maybe once I'm at like 10 episodes, then I could start putting them up.
Yeah, and if you need advice about running like a successful podcast, like you could talk to me.
Yeah, of course.
Between us, yeah, not so much Jimmy.
I'm
but,
just the one in school for it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Like, I'm the one. I'm the one in the
and I'm just
trenches
the guy
doing
that
it.
was in radio for 12 years. Yeah.
Right.
Jimmy, please. So yeah, you can talk to me, the talent, and I can help you. I'm sure.
Awesome.
I think she believes you when thousands wouldn't. Okay, Dave, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Do you have any questions for me with the fact that I was in radio?
I do actually. I guess I'm kind of curious to know, like, what was it like to be an on-air personality? Like, what exactly did your day look like?
It's fun as hell. Like I did not work a day that I was in radio because I loved it so much. It's
Yeah.
like you get paid to listen to music and talk about it. You talk about your life. You talk about you being in radio. You get to go to concerts. You get to interview artists. You get to do all that kind of stuff. I loved every second of it. And just so you know, in which like you'll probably learn in time, when you're done radio school, a lot of the times you have to move.
Yeah.
Like you won't leave Nate and be working at the Bear or working at like a lot of people get into small market radio, like small towns, stuff
Right.
like that. But it's so much. You learn so much. You have to like one thing that I learned is you have to be willing to learn everything. Like how to edit video, edit audio,
Yeah.
upload, like voicing, stuff like that. And like what is it that do you want to be a radio personality? Do you want to be a TV personality? Do you want
Yeah.
to
Radio personality, like that's definitely something I'm interested in. And even the things you mentioned before, I'm already finding that in the program with all the friends I've made. It's like I don't see it as going to school as a chore. Like I'm going to a place every day and I'm loving it and I'm loving what I'm doing. And I am getting to learn all that stuff. I'm getting to learn the video and the audio side of it and doing voiceovers. So I can really relate to that.
With the fact
That's
that that was your first show, I am so impressed. That was
Thank
you
you.
did such a great job. Um, yeah, you were awesome.
yeah, and I, I think that should be everyone's aspiration. You know, to wake up and do what you love every day. Um,
For sure.
so I'm really happy for you, and you know, like just not to put too fine a point on it. I mean, in today's media landscape, um, you know, there's only so many radio jobs, and they're probably half of what there used to be. And anyway, but by the same token, it's not like the ears or the eyes have gone away. There's just so many
Yeah.
other avenues, and so there's maybe more opportunity now than there was before. Even just doing your own thing, you know, like
Yeah.
I mean, I can only imagine the heights that I would get to, you know, if maybe I was doing my own show or wasn't saddled with anybody or whatever. I mean, you know, that's conversation for another day. But um, no, like I'm really proud of you, and in all honesty, your show could have been done by someone named Jane Smith, and if I caught on to it, I'd be listening. It's just that good. And why don't you tell us where, how, and how we can check into your show again, Davney?
Yeah, so to on Wednesdays from 6 to 8 on nr92.com or through the TuneIn app. So tomorrow night I'll be doing my second show starting right at 6 and I'm really looking forward to it. I have a great show planned. I have all my prep done. So I really hope that everyone can tune in.
Yeah, well, if it's anything like your first show, I mean, I can't wait. So yeah, thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, awesome.
Uh,
Thank you
Yes,
for having
and
me.
yeah,
yeah.
well, we'd
Thank
love
you.
to
That
have
was
you back.
you were awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah, we'd love to have you back. So take care, and we'll definitely be tuning in tomorrow.
Awesome.
All right,
Okay,
thanks,
see you
Davney.
guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
take care.
you too.
So Jimmy,
Yeah.
what did you think of the yeah, you obviously you liked her show.
Yeah, as I said, she did so good. And, luckily, like she is your niece and she looks nothing like you. She has hair. So, for those who are listening, all Mooney's family have hair except for Mooney. But she did fantastic. I loved it. And I think she's going to do well. Um, with that being
Yeah,
her first show, she can only get better from there. And
and the first show was great. And again,
yeah.
like I can't overstate like how much I really like it's really kind of throwbacky, um like where you have a sense that you're listening back and like we did back in the day to a radio show, hoping they play your favorite song or just maybe anticipating the next track. um and there's an intimacy about it that we don't get very much anywhere else. So yeah, we're all really proud of her. And like I said, like she said, she's been a fan. Like I've been talking about old records with her since she started discovering music, and that's got to be at least 10 years ago. She's a great kid, and we're really proud of her.
Yeah, and like listening to her show, and I even said it. She was telling like how it reminded her of a concert she went to, and 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 talking about the whole personal effect that the music has. And there's jocks that do that, and then there's jocks that go music nerd. And and to be honest, I think you would be the music nerd guy that would go, well, that album came out in 1983 and the second song on that album was this one right here. I think that's you. And it's not a dig. That's not an insult in any sense of the word. I've known a lot of jocks that's their way of talking about music. And it's not a bad thing. There's a lot of jocks out there that do that. And I just love that her passion towards music that we used to listen to, that we like, and
Yep.
from
It
such a
really
young girl.
comes across in the show. So again, Turntable Rebellion, Wednesdays 6 to 8, nr92.com. And I'm gonna see if we can convince her to put it on Spotify or something. But before Daveny joined us, you were on about some kind of change that
Oh, yes. So
by the
I've
way,
been doing the,
again with the hair, you know, like maybe you ought to pull back on the hair jokes there, Morrissey.
what's, hey, dude, okay, see see, you making fun of my hair
I'm not whatever,
would be
Morrissey.
like me, you would be like me calling you short. Okay? Listen, midget. You know, because those who can't grow hair judge other people's hair. My hair
Yeah,
looks fantastic.
and
All
meat
the
is
women
murder. What's
pointed
your
out,
point?
all the women pointed out, except for you. But um, you're the only woman that actually complains about my hair. Um,
All right, the queen is dead. Meat is murder.
yes. Okay.
Yeah,
So now that I feel better about myself, um,
yeah. All right, Morrissey.
so we're talking about
Oh, by the
change.
way,
So
by the
there's
way,
the possi.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt. I really have to say
No, you're not.
I'd be remiss if I didn't. That it was really nice seeing you guys talk about your shared passion in Daveny's interview. So
Yeah,
I,
it's
that
like, yeah.
it's like I'm golfing and I'm playing a scramble, and it's like I had to get in my compliment. I have like two
So,
compliments that I have to do in order to complete a successful show.
so my question is, and I'll start this question with you, and then I'll kind of explain what's kind of going on in my world. Change. How do you deal with it well? Do you accept it? Do you fight it? Are you afraid of
Uh,
it?
a lot of people, I don't, you know, there's change manifests itself in many different ways, right? So, you know, I guess it would depend on on the change. I mean, some change we pursue and welcome, like maybe a career change or a job or whatever, and then there's other change that sort of gets thrust on you. But at the end of the day, I suppose we shouldn't parse our words. Change is change, so something different than what you're used to. And for my part, um, I'd like to consider myself pretty much an optimist, and so I like I like new things. I like new challenges. I like going to different places and checking them out. I don't care if they suck or not. I'd rather go to a place that I haven't been to or endure change that I maybe like or just try something new and learn that it sucked than to just not try anything new and not learn anything and not throw myself in different environments. So I would definitely, I don't want to say I'm pro change or I live to change or whatever, but when change is thrust upon me, I tend to approach it optimistically.
Uh, I have my moments where quite regularly I'm almost afraid of change. Like I don't like change at all. Um, One situation that's taking place right now is I've lived in this apartment building that I'm living in right now. It's closing on. It'll be 10 years this August that I've been in what's officially known as the Den of Sadness. For those who used to listen to me on the radio. Um, and like the only thing I have on my walls in my apartment are these lightsabers. I have no paintings on the walls. All my paintings are either stacked against over there or in a stack somewhere else. I don't hang stuff on my walls. I'm not good with heights, but I digress. But my landlord is selling this building, and it looks like we were talking about it left. Like I've got a lease signed for at least another year. So I don't think I'm going to have to move anytime soon, but it's kind of freaking me out a little bit. I've been, and so I've been kind of, I'm going to get a new landlord. So therefore I'm like gutting my apartment, like cleaning up everything. Like not gutting it, but I'm like,
Yeah.
as I said earlier in the podcast, I got rid of like 6 bags of garbage in the last 2 days of just
Okay, but
stuff that I've, but just let me finish my thought
yeah,
here.
sorry.
Um, like the landlord that I had, he's fantastic. He's such a great guy. And he's, always been very, uh, not accessible. Like anything you need fixed, he does it. I don't always go to him when things need to be fixed. I either deal with it or not. It's just one of those things because I don't want to, you know, uh, waste his time or whatever. But he's such a good guy, and like every Christmas, you get a Christmas card or whatever from him, and it's just kind of freaking me out a little bit that the possibility that going to have a new landlord. So I'm kind of freaking.
Okay, but that's fair. That's what you'd call a different, like, earlier I prefaced my remarks by saying types of change. Like when you're talking about where you actually fucking live, and
Yeah,
you don't have 100% control over it. I can see how that might be a little more daunting than, deciding that you're going to pursue something different, but that's your decision, right? This is
yeah,
something. But having said that, um, you and I talked about this offline, but I mean, nobody buys a new building and evicts everybody. I mean, part of the appeal of buying an equity property is that you're generating income, and you just happen to be one of the instruments of that income. So it's not like a guy's gonna tell you to walk. They might charge you a little more after your lease is up in June 2027, but I wouldn't call it the I wouldn't waste too much time worrying about it now. Um, and at the same time, it's like you also have to feel empowered enough to go, well, if I need to go somewhere else, I will, right?
but the difference is between being here and being somewhere else would be the huge difference in rent.
Yep.
Like I'm my rent right now is extremely like reasonable, and I was looking for 1 bedroom on the south side when I was still working at the radio station, and it's $400 more a month than what
Yep.
I'm paying here. And like I'm not going to get into how much I'm paying right now, but
Sure.
it's a lot less than for an apartment the same size anywhere else
Well,
that I've
and
seen.
again, this is not, it's not a challenge that you need to tackle at the first of all, like if they want to give you notice, they have to give you 3 months, and that's more than enough time to sort your shit out. In the meantime, it's again, you have to file that under things I can't control. So it does you no good worrying about it for even a second until that happens. So
But is it common for like you said it's not really for someone to buy a building and give everybody the boot?
no, not at all. I mean, the only circumstance under which that would happen is if someone was going to condominiumize like a strata property like that, or strata property like that, and I don't see that happening with your building. And so no, you and every one of your fellow tenants are assets, and there's a reason why they had the lease renewed and all that, is because if I'm buying, and I have bought multifamily properties with 12 doors or 16 doors or even 6 or 8 doors, um, for one of the first things you do is look at the financials, and so you go, like, how much revenue does this asset generate over the course of the year? How long is this revenue expected to continue? So, like, if your lease was 5 years, there'd be 5 years of security that the owner would have in terms of the revenue
They
that
they
asset.
they do a 1 year at a time here.
Yeah, and you're more than 1 year. So there's security in that for the guy buying it. So I wouldn't worry about it at all. Again, like I said, you and your fellow tenants are instruments through which he generates revenue, and he's buying that asset for a reason. So
All right. So yeah, that's me talking about change. Now I'm going to let you kind of pick which direction we want to go next on this
well,
podcast.
hang on. I wanted to
Okay.
talk.
No. Okay. Talk.
Oh, yeah,
You want to talk about
what's with
what?
the heavy-handed? Then nope.
No, no, I
Like,
said go. I
you're a
said I
fucking
said go
boss.
for it. I
Where
said
do you
go
get the
for it.
balls?
I
I
said go
wanted to.
for it.
Nope.
I'm like,
Nope.
go for it. Okay,
It's
where do
really,
you want to go?
really, really heavy-handed, Morrissey. Really heavy-handed.
Where do you want to go? Uncle Fester.
Okay.
Um,
Connor McDavid came out with an article. There's a website called the Players Tribune. I think it was actually, you'd have to check. I'm not going to check now, but Kobe Bryant, I think, actually started it. And this is where, like, professional athletes can write articles. If you go to it, playerstribune.com, like, the only contributors are actual professional athletes. And they give you a window into what they deal with or what they're feeling or what their challenges are. And in a totally out of the blue, like out of left field kind of thing, Connor McDavid wrote a pretty extensive article about his love of hockey, his challenges, his intense desire to win, um, and address some criticism he may have faced about being a hockey robot or whatever. And honestly, it's a must read. Came out February 2nd, and I highly recommend it to anybody. And I guess particularly if you're getting excited about the Olympics, which officially start in 4 days on Friday. Team Canada, obviously, it's the first time the pros are going in like 12 years. I want to say maybe longer. And boy, it's going to be exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. And if you share my excitement, um, honestly, check out that article because he talks about a lot of the things that we all felt or feel when we watch those big games. You know, everyone still talks about 1972. Everyone talks about 87 Canada Cup. Everyone talks about Crosby and Iginla in Vancouver. And was that 2008? Whatever. Anyway, check it out. It's really awesome. As far as the Oilers are concerned, they have 2 more games before the Olympic break, which it's February 3rd right now. That break there is literally no NHL hockey for the rest of the month, starting on Thursday. Calvin Pickard was exposed to waivers. He cleared. So luckily he's still with the organization. Nobody's going to be too worried about what he's going to do or where he's going to go till after the Olympic break, which is literally like 3 weeks from now. And the Oilers have 2 games left, one tonight against Toronto, Tuesday, February 3rd. The next one tomorrow against Calgary, in Calgary. And then it's Olympic break. And we start talking about Olympics. You should come over and we'll spend a day watching that shit, buddy. I really get into the Olympics since I was a kid. Like, I remember watching all of them, like, and sports you never watch except for once every 4 years, and like
I
the really great channels, like, you learn about the athletes, and you actually have a stake, not just because they're wearing a flag, but you learn that what their challenges they had to overcome, or I just love it.
I've always been a hockey, like a Olympic hockey fan. I've always have, like, more Olympic hockey than NHL, to be honest. And then some of the summer games, I'm into like the wrestling and the taekwondo and the kickboxing and all that kind of stuff for the
So
summer
you
games.
like the
But
wrestling, eh? Like, is it titillating?
no, because one day I'm going to wrestle you to the ground and break your arm, and then you go, "Oh, that was very titillating." Um,
Whatever, Morrissey.
okay, but okay, so again, uh, what reiterating what Mooney was just talking about. So it's the playerstribune.com, and there's
Yep.
a cool article. I just kind of browsed through it, written by Connor McDavid, and just in the first couple lines, I for like I didn't realize how that he was 19 when he became captain.
Yeah.
Like
That's a rarity, but
that's huge. And yeah, so check it out. Like I've just from browsing over it, he goes through everything from his childhood to
and you know what I love about
professional.
the Players Tribune is, um, you know, particularly in hockey, uh, like there's the classic cliches, got to support the team, good Lord willing. Like there's a whole thing in Bull Durham where they're on the bus and Kevin Costner talks to Nuke LaLoosh about Crash Davis talks to Nuke LaLoosh about how to do an interview when you make the majors, when you make the show. It's like just got to keep trying, and good Lord willing, things will work out. I'm got to it's there's so many cliche answers. There really isn't a lot of humanity or where the guy, sometimes guys joke around, and I think that's great, but you don't really get a window into the soul of the guys. And you know what? Uh, if they don't want to show it, God love them. They do enough for us on the ice. I don't care. I don't want to know about the guy's life. But when you get that rare window into what a guy's thinking and feeling, um, yeah, it's really neat. And it just came out of the blue, nowhere. No one saw it coming, and he writes this thing. And I recommend everybody check it out, particularly if you're a fan of the Oilers, but just a fan of sports or hockey in general. PlayersTribune.com, Connor McDavid's latest article. Players Tribune
So
sometimes. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, but because but before going into this bit, I was gonna ask you which way did we want to go? Did we want to go into sports next? You kind of touched on this with the Players Tribune. What is a show? Why do you call a shorty a Jimmy when we're watching hockey?
Um, well, no, that's
Yeah.
it's a this is you indirectly talking about you.
You have it
So
written in the prep. You wrote it in the prep. I
did
did
I?
not write this. Yes, you
Okay,
did.
maybe we didn't cover this in any prior episodes, but um, uh, you and I were watching a game at Sherbrooke Pub in Edmonton on 118th Ave and St. Albert Trail, I think. And the Oilers had we're in a shorthanded situation. We were killing a penalty, and we scored a goal. And I went shorty, and you were like, it looked like like your village was getting like droned. So Jimmy's like freaked out, but he's like, it's like somebody ran into a bank with a gun and yelled, "Shorty!" You're like, you know,
I,
like
I
you don't walk around particularly conscious of your midgetry, but by the same token, like somebody yells "Shorty,"
and I'm like,
you're like, it's not hard to deduce who in the room they might be talking about.
so so now you call
Well,
shorthanded goals
a
a
Jimmy,
shorty, a
a
Jimmy.
Jimmy, yeah, because well, obviously, we want to avoid the trauma that you had to endure when I screamed "Shorty" after a shorthanded goal.
But it was you and about four other people in the bar at the
High
exact
five
same
and
town.
screaming "Shorty."
High five, shorty, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Um,
That's why you got to watch more hockey, kid. But anyway, yeah. So now we kind of determined after Jimmy cleaned his shorts that a shorty or a shorthanded goal will now be referred to as a Jimmy.
as a Jimmy. That's yeah, but it's just
I don't mind that. I mean, as like,
you all yelled a shorty, and I'm like, even and I was I think at that time I was sitting next to Andrea, your your uh your woman, and she yelled it too, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And
it's almost like everyone decided to prank you and just start screaming, "Bitches!"
shorty.
But
Okay,
I don't mind yelling Jimmy. Like, probably my favorite movie of all time is Goodfellas, and there's that classic scene when Henry Hill's in the shower and the radio's on, and he hears that the Lufthansa heist was successful, and he's banging on the shower wall. Jimmy, Jimmy, because that De Niro's character is Jimmy, and yeah, he was, you know, like, obviously the heist worked
what?
out.
Sorry, what movie was that?
Goodfellas,
I
Jimmy
actually don't
Conway.
know if I've seen. I actually don't know if I've seen it.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? That's literally my favorite movie of all time. I I'll,
I've seen Get Shorty. I've seen
oh
the
my god,
Godfather movies.
Goodfellas. I I'll put a bullet in my
Yes,
head
I
if I
have.
haven't seen
It's
it
been a
20.
really long time though. It's been a
Yeah,
really long time.
I must have seen that movie 20 times.
I've seen it
But
once.
yeah, it's fantastic.
But
So,
okay,
anyways, we were talking about sports. We were talking about the shorties and the jimmies. Um, you and I are gonna have to figure out an Olympic hockey watching schedule because I'm not missing any of that shit. I was talking to
okay.
Janet at Sherbrooke. Some of the games start at like 10:40. I think the first game is a week from Thursday at like
So
10
are they
40
able
a.m.
to open that early? Because
Yeah,
I know in previous years for the Olympics, they've been able to open
yeah,
whenever the hockey games are on in
yeah.
previous years that
I
like
think that
the
was like
AGLC changes the rules.
the World Cup or something, like where bars are open at like 4 or 5,
Like
you know, to
oh
watch the games.
yeah, for the soccer, but they did it a couple of years ago for the Olympics too, for the Olympics hockey.
Yeah, no, Janet was just telling me like last time I was there at Sherbrooke Pub that people are like telling her or asking her if she'd make breakfast or whatever. So you go Thursday 10:40, watch the game, have brunch, you know, maybe crush a Caesar or a Vizzy, you know, whatever you want,
No,
Morrissey.
no, actually, Caesars are good. They're low calorie because it's vodka and clamato juice.
I don't know what Clamato
Um,
carries, like what kind of a caloric
it's got
impact
it's
that has.
all it's basically tomato juice with oyster
It's
like,
Clamato.
but it's got clam juice mixed in with the tomato juice. Hence the
Oh, there you go. You
clamato
finally put it
clam.
together.
Okay, yeah, because you're interrupting me while I'm trying to get a thought out.
No, so by the okay, so what things that are happening between now and our next podcast? Obviously, the Super Bowl. We'll talk about that. Um, I don't think it falls under sports as much as it does like rape.
Our gambling.
So
But
we're gonna have the side bets.
before we get into the gambling part, there is one thing I wanted to ask you about, and it deals with sports because I want to just touch on sports. We got so much other shit to talk about today. Um, Bill Belichick, being not being in the first ballot for the Hall as a Hall of Famer. Thoughts?
Um, yeah, like
I would take
there's
that if I was Bill Belichick, I'd take it as a total kick in the fucking nuts and face at the same time. Like he's had how many Super Bowls? Like
I think he's been a part of like 7. Like look it up. Look it up. Like I think he's been a part of 7. He's won like the Vince Lombardi trophies for like coach of the year. in the NFL, and he's won like 3 of them, maybe 4. The whole Patriots dynasty with Brady and all those guys, that none of that happens without Belichick. And in fact, Mike Vrabel, who's like the coach of the Patriots right now, he played with Brady and Gronk and all those guys, Julian Edelman, under Belichick. So, if you want to talk about a guy like who solely on his accomplishments deserves to be a first ballot like football Hall of Famer, Bill Belichick has got to be like he's I mean maybe the best coach since Lombardi, to be honest with you. So and people forget, like Tom Brady. I mean, obviously he's maybe arguably the best quarterback in the history of NFL football. He was a late round draft pick, skinny, scrawny little cocksucker, and just worked his ass off. And that doesn't happen without a coach that believes in you and says, "Here's the ball, kid." And I mean, yeah. So why don't you lay out those stats?
So he, under Belichick, he 6 Super Bowl wins, 3 other appearances at the Super Bowl. So
Yep.
he's been to 9 fucking Super Bowls in 18 years.
Right? Like,
Because
how do
when I
you
saw
how
that,
do
and
you
I'm not a sports guy, and I'm like that was a total kick. Were they doing that out of spite just to go, yeah, it sucks to be you? Like,
and that's the thing
if
too,
anyone
like
deserves it, it should be him. And I'm not a
yeah.
sports guy.
No, I'm telling you, um okay, like you it's what how many appearances in 18 years? Is that 18?
Uh, in it says in appearances in 18 years, that's 6 plus 3, so that's 9.
Nine Super Bowl. So we're talking about the best team
Super
in your
Super
conference,
Bowl
the best
appearances.
top 2 teams in your league in half of the seasons you've ever been in the NFL. I'm assuming as a head coach because I'm sure he did work or
Yeah.
whatever. I know he worked with Parcells or whatever, but the point is that like there's 32 teams in the fucking NFL, and half of your career is spent as a head coach at or in the Super Bowl. Like you're a first ballot Hall of Famer. And the thing is that
You,
if he spent time kissing babies and doing podcasts and being nice to everybody, and people say, oh, Belichick's a great guy. Maybe that's a different story, but the guy's kind of a dick. And you know what I like? Um, I hope people don't think I'm kind of a dick. Like I don't try to be a dick. I'm just me. But if that were the case, I'd still be quite comfortable telling them to go fuck themselves. And I feel like Belichick definitely has that um, aspect of like, you know what, you can take your trophy and go fuck yourself. And honestly, just me speaking as me, I got to respect that too.
but so I just read something else. So he has 6 Super Bowls as head coach and 2 other Super Bowls as defensive coordinator.
Yep.
So that's 8,
8 rings.
like 8 rings.
Yeah.
And then the other ones where he, uh, you know, 3 other appearances at the Super Bowl but not winning. Like,
And
come on. Like,
how many times did he win the Vince Lombardi trophy? That's coach of the year.
uh,
And like you got to remember that like the Patriots were like a fucking wagon for 10 years. I mean, they were the team to beat. And in a 32 team league, I mean, there's supposed to be parity. I mean, it's not like the Patriots had more money than anybody else. They had a fucking sick ass program run by like a guy who knew how to fucking run a program. Who should in any day of the week you take personalities out of it and be completely objective is a first ballot Hall of Famer.
so he's won 6 Lombardi trophies as head coach with the Patriots. and 2 as an assistant with the Giants.
Yeah. So you have like 18 years coaching, head coaching, or just coaching period?
And that's the career
His whole
with
career as whether he be an
yeah,
assistant, an OC, or whatever.
or
So
yeah,
you think
yeah.
about that. Like you've been involved in pro football for 18 years. You've won a Super Bowl for a third of those years in a 32 team league. And you've won the coach of the year like a third of the time that you actually like like that batting average is retarded. Like in a
And
league that
and also according to this, he has more Super Bowl rings than anyone in NFL history.
yeah, and
How
he's
does
he's
he
not
not get?
he's not a
How
third.
does
Yeah.
he not get a Hall of Fame? Like
You know what? Like we
that's somebody in the Hall of Fame committee having a hate on for Belichick.
yeah.
Uh, like
But you know
like
what? Like how much of
that's
that
sour grapes from someone.
if I was on the selection committee or whatever and I fucking hated Belichick and like I mean it's not like he stabbed anybody. It's not like he's some kind of weird predilection. It's not like he's a midget, for God's sakes. No, like,
Whoa, whoa,
no,
whoa!
like no, but I'm just saying that there's people that somehow like make it a subjective decision. I'm like I'll pretend I don't know this guy. I never met him, and I don't really know much about Belichick as a person. And frankly, I don't care. I talked earlier about that Players Tribune business, where it's like you can tell me about your life, but I'm paying my money and buying my jersey to watch what you do on the ice. Uh, and you're entitled to your life, and you're entitled to do whatever you do. Belichick is not necessarily known to be the friendliest, most outgoing guy, but you know what? He gets
He
paid to be a
wasn't
football
paid to
coach.
be. He wasn't paid to be friendly and outgoing
Yeah, and
and
I.
be
All right, so if I can, if without belaboring the point, if I could offer a conclusion here, is that like this awards business, like I think we just had, I don't know, was it the Oscars or the Grammys or something, a couple 3 days
yeah,
ago, and
yeah, the
all
Grammys.
these this glad handing and this popular kid fucking back clapping and all that. Go fuck yourself. Like what I do, who I am, who knows that is like Jimmy, Andrea, my family. Like you want to talk about my profession, then talk about my accomplishments over there. But I mean, frankly, like I can't imagine if there was ever a snub in any Hall of Fame, whether it be the Rock or the Pro or the whatever, Belichick's got to be at the top of the list. I mean, even if you think about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, like, I mean, there's bands that haven't been admitted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but LL Cool J's in there, and that's not to talk shit about LL Cool J. I mean, and there's
Like
worse
to
examples than that.
to be honest, and again, I'm not catcalling anyone. Um, there's a lot of people, as you said, that should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that aren't, but yet someone like Dolly Parton, who's a known country singer, is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, right. And like,
Makes no
I mean,
sense.
there's fans of
But
like,
and I'm a fan of Dolly Parton, but she's not rock and roll. Like,
Mhm.
but
And if you were presented with a list of artists that were excluded from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, like I hope Howlin' Wolf's in there. Like, but I'm not sure he is. He inspired like untold generations of blues artists. Doesn't matter. There's all kinds of anecdotal examples one could provide, but the point being is that like unless there's like a literal like objective metric standard that you use to apply, like regardless of whether you like the person or not, then this award shit is a bunch of bullshit. And like one last thing I'll put on that is I think it was Rogan, like Joe Rogan, obviously like the biggest podcaster in the world, not even arguably. But I think it was the Golden Globes, maybe it was the Grammys. I'm not sure. One of these fucking fucking popular girls, bullshit. Um, like the artist who's the blackest wins type bullshit award thing. He was up for like podcast of the year, and I mean, there's no question that he is. I mean, when you talk about the variety of your guests and the number of different topics you explore, and not even that,
and
but
the amount that a company pays
yeah, not
pays
even
you
that.
to
Like
do a
the
no, but like
literal fucking traffic that visits your shit every week. I mean, like the guy wins. The guy wins hands down. But he was saying like, yeah, they put me up, and he had to pay a fee to be considered for nomination. So you get a letter in the mail that goes, "Hey, by the way, you've been nominated. If you want us to proceed with your nomination, send us $20,000 or $30,000, and you get to be in the popular kids club." And that's like, I'm paraphrasing, but and he's like literally like, "Fuck you guys." Like I literally give two, and I frankly I'd be the exact same way. And maybe Belichick's like that, and maybe the fact that he got rejected at first ballot makes him more lovable to a guy like me.
I when I saw that, and I'm not a sports guy, I was mad, and I'm like, you look at his stats, like he's got the most Super Bowl rings of anybody.
Like
Like
ever.
holy fuck!
And like
Like
in a very short timeline, like his NFL career.
18 years.
Yeah, let me
Like
check. Hey Google, how many years did Bill Belichick spend in the NFL as a coach?
On the website Patriots.com, they say Belichick's coaching career spans nearly 5 decades.
Okay, it says like 29 seasons.
As a head coach in the NFL. His resume
is unmatched.
Wins, 333.
333 wins.
Behind Don Shula. Playoff wins.
Yeah.
Second all time behind Don Shula.
NFL history.
He's got 31 playoff wins.
Now that we're kind of done, let's put a pin.
I like that though. I'm fine with that. Like all you haters and all you fucking award show junkie cocksuckers, fuck you. You know, like who cares if a person's likable? Like as long as they're not killing babies and their moral code is at least neutral, then judge them on their merits.
Okay, let's put a pin in sports now. Let's move on to something else. I'll give you a choice. Do we want to go? We got local or we got entertainment? And I'll pick.
This choice business. Like, what do you like? Is this
I'm
you trying to assert control? Like, is this like a power move?
No. I'm actually.
Are you
I'm actually, instead of me going, okay, let's change the subject to this, I'm giving you the choice.
But
if you don't take the choice, I'll make the choice.
But you're saying I am bestowing upon you as your ruler the choice. Like there's some sort of
so now that this argument has pursued,
it's an act of magnanimity that because it's your show. Like, do you need a reminder about who the talent is, or?
No, I don't. I don't actually need a reminder. I know, and actually, your niece actually pointed out it's not you. Without saying it, she just didn't want to say it and hurt your feelings. Okay, so I'm gonna pick something, and
all right, then
you're gonna like, and you're gonna like it, and you're gonna like it.
I like the democratic aspect of that fuckface, as opposed to like
I tried. I'm like, which way do you want to go? Which?
And where do you get the balls? I'm gonna give you a choice. Well, thank you, King John.
I got my balls when they dropped. Yours will drop soon. Okay. I want to keep this one kind of tight. We don't need to get into it too heavy. Yeah. But Alberta separation. Your thoughts?
I have yet to.
It's a big thing. Like with the like for those who, so we can give a little bit of a backstory. There's all these petitions going on throughout Alberta to try and do a referendum on
No,
whether or
there's
not
like
Alberta should separate.
no
And
petition. It's referenda, or it's I guess you
isn't
could
it a
call it.
it's a petition to get a referendum for the entire country,
No,
though.
no, no. The like, yeah, exactly. And um, I think we should park this for our next episode, but and I'm sure there'll be more news by then. But I think it deserves more than a couple minutes to talk about, frankly. And as the talent, I'll give you that. Let's park that for our next show. I will allow you to make another choice about what you want to talk about.
I love that you allow me, and I'm the one who edits, posts, and I and I'm the guy with radio experience, and
Oh, the radio experience. Oh,
you're just a bald guy that the broadcasting talent you have is your niece. Um, so okay, so if we're gonna go there,
I got something I want to talk about, but hey, like
no,
I
well,
granted you the opportunity, so it's up
okay.
to you.
So we've talked about this on the podcast many times. Uh, with the fact that we both live in Edmonton and all these big infill buildings going up, like
Yep,
eight
yep,
doors. Now they've limited to six, and then now we have this huge snowfall over the last couple months, and
yep,
they still haven't cleared all the freaking like residential areas. Like mine
yep,
is mostly cleared, but part of the problem is there's no freaking parking for all these big buildings going up. If you have an eightplex coming and
yeah,
they're parking on the street, like one thing I love, we talk about the fact that um, we mentioned it on this podcast that there's the possibility of my building being um, sold. We have a 9 stall parking lot behind our building
yep,
for all 9 apartments. And all these infill buildings that are going in are not taking into account parking. They're taking the entire lot, which would have been for one house or two houses, for a sixplex.
yep,
And then everybody's parking on the street, and then people aren't moving their vehicles off the street because they have nowhere to park for snow clearing. It's like it's a like like a round and round. And like, where are they going to park? They have to park like a mile away so that we can clear the snow because there's no parking anywhere for all
yep,
this infill.
yep. And like to understand the idiocy attached to all of that, you need to understand that the city of Edmonton, like our city council, is very much
Anti-car.
financed by, like, the campaigns that get people elected are financed by interests that are stand to benefit. So, like, obviously unions, like there was a big thing a couple election cycles ago about a huge group, like was like unions and a bunch of other people that are financing certain candidates that give them money. Like municipal politics doesn't get the same sort of exposure as national politics, so it's kind of like the more you see someone's name, you're like, oh, I got to vote. I'm going to vote. I don't recognize anybody, but I seen 100 of this guy's signs, so I'm going to do it. And then like our last municipal election was a fucking joke. Like I take my responsibility to vote really seriously, so I look all these websites where they like do questionnaires and to candidates to submit, and like more than half of them, particularly the front runners, don't answer the questions. They're like, fuck you. Fuck you. Like I don't even get to hear what they gotta say. And then they end up being activists. So they say, we don't we want to be more urban. we want to have more people moving downtown. We want to have more people living in the core. We want a 15-minute city. So what do? They they relax the bylaws and they make exceptions for guys like Andrew and I and our neighbor. Our two houses that are 1,800 square feet, like above grade. We have a double garage in the back, but we occupy a 25-foot lot upon which my neighbor, whose house has been here like 50 years, lives. Like so, like when he decides to sell his house, that'll be two houses like ours. But there are two fucking garages in the back that accommodate both of our parking. Now, like so it's like no muss, no fuss, right? The kids drive now; they park in front. You got 25 feet to park two cars, but within that 25 feet, all of our parking needs are met. You follow my reasoning, right?
Yes.
Now, when you have an activist city council that wants to have everybody on the trains, you want to be green, the less people driving, the better because of emissions, blah, blah, fucking blah, blah, blah. And then bike lanes, right? Like the first lanes to
Oh
ever
yeah,
get like mowed, or,
don't get me
scraped.
started on bike lanes. Like
Mm.
I used to work with a
It's all
guy that
part of it,
bitched
man.
about bike lanes every day. But our
Blocks away from my
current
house, there's a it's not even that busy thoroughfare, and they put up lights at every block. Like back in the day, that used to be a crosswalk. Like you want to cross the street, you hit the button, it flashes for like the 30 seconds it takes you to cross, and then traffic moves again. Now you hit the button,
it's supposed
everybody's
to be
life has to
90
stop
seconds, but
until you can fucking jerk your way off across the street. And
I
and
think it's
and and
supposed
the
to be
city
90
allows
seconds,
this.
but
Yeah.
the thing is
And
though is I'm gonna get very controversial right now. Like this is actually probably the first time on this podcast that I've got our current mayor, Andrew Knack, was the city council for my my neighborhood for as long as I've lived here,
yeah,
and
you're
he's and
riding.
it,
What do they hang on? What do they call that riding?
okay, it doesn't matter.
Like
I no, we're
they
okay. We're
changed
not
all
going.
the names of the
No,
ridings to like stuff you can't even
okay,
pronounce.
we're not Mooney. We're not going there.
Yeah,
Um,
good.
Okay, we're not going there. The thing is we had him on our radio show when I was working at Cruise.
Yeah.
He is pro bike lanes. He was the one because he was the one that actually brought in. They have for snow clearing. They have a separate snow clearing division for fucking bike lanes, and they are cleared. They are cleared before the streets are. They are cleared before the fucking sidewalks are. Like, it's stupid.
Hang
Um,
on. So, like, if you don't mind me interjecting here, you think about that for a minute. Um, so unions, the guys that run unions, don't make, create, produce, or support anything except for the union, right, or the workers,
okay,
and their income is solely generated by the dues that are paid by the workers, right? You still with me?
okay, yeah.
So the more workers there are, the more money is available because they all pay dues to the pool from which comes my income. Follow? So,
I think I know where you're going with this.
so now if
Can I,
if we can
can I just ask you one question to see if
sure.
we're going in the same direction? Okay, and the same thing with the city with infill, because the more people that you have living in one certain area, more property tax that they're paying going to the city.
No, that's not
Am
so
I
mues because if they have
okay?
enough money to buy a house, they'll pay property taxes
No,
regardless,
but I
and
mean
that
like
within their budget.
condos and shit. Who because
No, it
everybody
has more to
that's
do
buying
with
something.
It has more to do with like some kind of green utopianic idea, despite the fact that our city is like
The 15
we're a
minute cities,
driving city, but the idea being that
they hate cars.
the easier it is for me to ride my bike to the corner store or
Or
the
take the
city fitness
bus
center.
or walk,
Yeah,
and yeah.
right. Yeah, like
But
so
in
that's
order to walk, you need to clear the frickin' sidewalks. So you need people to clear the frickin'
yeah.
sidewalks. Have you ever seen a
It's
midget walking snow up to their waist? It looks like,
you ask the most successful people, like even in the separatist movement, like people that run successful businesses, like, do you want to be the first leader of an independent? And most of them go no. I'm not a politician. My aspiration isn't to be some kind of magnanimous leader that controls people's lives. I just want what's right. Like they don't care. Like whereas like you have these people, particularly on municipal councils, that have some sort of like they have a poli sci degree. They've never created anything. They've never built anything, and to them, success is being elected to the highest office, not helping humanity or building a better widget or like running a great department or whatever the fuck, right? So yeah, it all ties in anyway. Like,
yeah. So the moral of the story is our city council are morons. And
but let me
this
finish
is
that
gonna,
union bit though. Like, you think about it. Now we're going to start a new division within the city of Edmonton. Like in the summer it's erecting bike lanes, and in the winter it's clearing bike lanes. So now you've created like maybe what, 100 jobs. That's 100 more people that work for the union, that pay dues, that add to the purse, that lets them run ads against Alberta independence, for example, or you name the cause. And then it becomes less about protecting workers than it does become about an ideological crusade. And when they can finance the campaigns of the people that make council, then council becomes the same ideological crusade. And then if you just care about living freely and like having the choice to do what you want to do and run your life, and having um like the choice to protect your family or do things or whatever the case may be, um, that choice becomes limited because you have an activist council that chooses to tell you what to do. So like when we cook now, we have to put our chicken bones in a different bag from our regular garbage or whatever, and by our garbage comes once a week, and you want to take that out. It's wet and it's greasy and it's gross and it stinks, and I gotta fucking haul that dripping bag of shite like to the green bin in the back. And guess what? Like half of that shit doesn't get anywhere that it needs to go. But at the end of the day, city council goes, we did this. Someone else is going to take credit for me having to grab a bag of festering, moldy shit from my kitchen to my garbage bin. And they're going to take the credit and go, well, we did this. All right.
again,
Enough of the infill business. The point is that Edmonton is a vast city, and like we sprawl and we have like subdivisions, and I'll never understand it. Like I said, I live in an infill and I love where I live. I love how I'm central, but I'm not. I'm not like one door. Andrea and I aren't one door in an 8-door unit on a 50-foot lot that has no parking. We 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 don't use more than we're given. We're not given more than we deserve. And when you have 8 units on a 50-foot lot and no parking, then you have a problem. And when your activist council does that, uh, then you can't even park your car in front of your house without getting a ticket. Like, and maybe that's where they want to go. Who cares? Doesn't matter. That was your choice. I'm gonna make a choice now about subject matter.
okay,
We came out with trailer 2 for the Michael Jackson. I think the show's called Michael. It comes out in
yep,
April, and we've talked about movies before, but I am going to that fucking movie. I'm not a lifelong Michael Jackson fan, but like two of my favorite albums, uh, I don't want to say like top 10 or Desert Island, but definitely top 20 are Off the Wall and Thriller. And Michael Jackson's contribution to the popular music oeuvre is incalculable. But, again, like we could devote a whole episode to talking about Thriller and how Toto was the backing band for Thriller, but we won't go there. um, if Andrew was
Please
listening,
don't.
and by the way,
Please.
Steve Lukather is a premier songwriter, lead singer, and sometime lead vocalist for Toto, but we won't go there, even though I'm a yacht rock guy.
Please don't. Like, remember when I was talking to you earlier about
Lukather,
music? Like when I was talking about
Lukather.
radio, but when I was talking about radio and
I'm that guy.
and
I'm
and
that guy.
and guys that go totally music and nerds. Oh well, the guy who produced this video and Michael Lukather. It's not Luther. It's Michael Luther. Whatever.
Steve
Yeah,
Lukather.
whatever. It doesn't matter. Um, okay, are you a Michael Jackson fan?
I am a massive fan of Michael Jackson's music, um, produced by Quincy Jones. Quincy Jones produced 3 Michael Jackson albums, as far as I know. The first one being Off the Wall, the second one being Thriller, the third one being Bad. Bad, like I don't want to say it lives up to its namesake, but I mean, uh, it's like they figured that pop music was a moving target and they had to change for it. And I, from the time that Off the Wall and Thriller came out, it definitely the target didn't move that much, and they just made great music with great players and great songs. And like those 2 records are among the best ever produced in the 20th century, in my opinion.
Like the music video for Thriller, we've talked about this off air. We've talked about it while we are drinking.
Oh, by the way,
Uh,
like I'm gonna get into
uh,
the nerd thing just for one more. Um, before we get too deep into Michael Jackson and whatnot, is that Quincy Jones, um, quite possibly Frank Sinatra is one of my favorite artists of all time, and the band leader, it was the Count Basie Orchestra, but the band leader was Quincy Jones, and Frank Sinatra live at the Sands. I think it came out in '65. Quincy Jones was the band leader for that, and he also produced
really?
Sinatra's last top charting record, "L.A. Is My Lady." I think it came out in like 84, and that's also a great album. Quincy Jones had his fingerprints on that too, and like he's accomplished so much more. But just so you know, he didn't just pop out of the blue and produce Michael Jackson. Like he was a guy, right? And he
Yeah.
recognized talent, and he assembled the guys from Toto to play on Thriller.
Why do you always go Toto?
By
Everything's
the way,
Toto.
Steve Porcaro from Toto wrote "Human Nature," which is probably my favorite song off Thriller. But I digress, Jimmy. Why don't you tell us what you think?
Uh, one of my favorite Michael Jackson songs. I'm hoping it's going to be in the Michael movie. Is actually "Man in the Mirror." Um, to be honest, it's actually it's like some there's music that touches your soul,
Yeah,
and Michael was good with that. And
yeah,
I'm hoping this movie does that. Like what I've seen in the trailers, and the fact that uh, Jafar Jackson, his nephew,
that's Jermaine's son.
is is actually playing Michael.
Yeah,
I this is a movie I have to see in the theater.
100%. Like we're going. Like we're gonna have like maybe we'll have a watch party and get whoever wants to come with us.
Like,
But like one thing that concerns me about the Michael Jackson movie um, is that it's sanctioned by the Jackson family, and like anybody that knows, and I'm not I'm like I know more about the JFK. I know more about a lot of things than I do about the Jackson family, but I know enough to know that the old man was a taskmaster and made like obviously these kids were talented, but it's like um, kind of like Brian Wilson's old man, where it's like you lose your identity because you have to be what the old man wants you to be and whatever. And I've heard stories, I've read things where they talk about how Michael obviously was the most talented, and he's like the second youngest, I think, maybe the youngest. Like Randy, I'm not sure if Randy was younger. It doesn't matter. But the old man used to call him Big Nose. And you grow up really without a childhood because you're like 9, 10, 12. I don't know when he started. And you're like on Sullivan or you're on whatever shows and you're touring. You don't have a life. You don't have an identity. You never had the opportunity to make friends. And then the one dominant authority in your life tells you got a big nose.
so obvious.
I'm not gonna
So
slide
so
down into conjecture,
obviously,
but
so obviously, he's gonna be very self-conscious of his appearance because,
like I think that
but
maybe or you're gonna chase a childhood that you never had because your authoritarian father that just didn't want the kids to work in the mill like he did or whatever. And I don't know, man. Like all I'm saying is that uh, the fact that it was produced by the very same family whose patriarch may have been a catalyst for some of the, like sad predilections or whatever you want to call it. Like that's the one part that makes me a little suspicious about. If you want to
I
celebrate the man and his career, I actually would prefer to see that movie than to go down those depths anyway. But
I I I actually want, like, kind of like you, celebrate the man and his music, the way he changed
yeah,
concert shows, the way he changed music videos, the way, like he was. I could be wrong on this. You might know it. Um, outside of like the Four Tops and all that, he threw in
Temptations, Sam and
like
Dave, Wilson Pickett.
like choreography into every fucking show. He was planned. He wrote great songs. He performed great songs written by other people. Like he did everything. He changed the way we look at music videos. Like Thriller by itself was a mini movie, which was based around a frickin' song.
Are
Like
you
he
talking about the
changed,
the
like,
video for Thriller?
the music video. He
Halloween, yeah, like
changed,
it's like
yeah,
10 minutes, like John Landis. Yeah, yeah.
he changed the way people did shit. And that's the stuff I hope this movie recognizes,
Yeah,
is
and that's
his passion for the music, his passion for entertaining people, his passion for being involved with other people. That's who Michael was. All the other stuff was noise. It's, in my opinion. Um,
you know what? It kind of goes back to what I said about like pro athletes and stuff. It's like I don't care what you do when you leave the stage, whether it be the rink or the field or whatever. It's like I care about what you put together when you're presenting, when you're applying your trade. And Michael Jackson, between okay, I'll include bad, like because you said man in the mirror, but um, uh, really like for sure a uniter, but more importantly, like I mean, there was a period of time in like in the 80s, 83, 84, where the Cosby Show was the number one show on TV and the number one record was Thriller. And now we have, but yet we have BLM. I don't want to go there, but not for nothing, or when everyone was listening, everyone was laughing at George Jefferson or whatever, or, like watching Shaft. But I digress. The point is that like his contribution to popular culture, certainly within the realm of the music video that you're kind of leaning towards, is like incalculable, literally incalculable. And if you're of our generation, and hopefully younger people like Davney and her compatriots, and certainly all the people in between, you have to at least take a pause and go, wow, that is great fucking music. And I watched that video and holy cow. I mean, it's timeless, isn't it?
It is. And the thing is, though, is sometimes like music, like you and I are a little bit older than Davey, um,
Well, you are, but
ish.
no.
Yeah, yeah. But the thing is, though, is lyric, like with music, when lyrics hit you and it resonates, and
Well,
like,
my kids are 4 months older than Davney, and I remember I was in the mountains with the kids when they're like in grade 6, so like 10 years old. Um, and we were driving up into the mountains to go skiing at Marmot, and I was playing James Taylor, like because I took my DJ responsibilities as a father very seriously. Like I didn't, like
oh,
and we're driving up the hill, and just out of the blue, Kieran goes, James Taylor is the best music to listen to in the mountains. And I was like,
uh, you
like,
you you
and I was
destroyed
like,
that boy.
I was just like, in my mind, I'm like, I got this face on me going, mission accomplished.
And and then you're like, oh, he's so screwed. Um,
What are you
because
talking
that was
about?
it. But that's the difference.
You
Like
should
when it
try
came to
sometime,
music,
fuckface.
no, but the difference between your view on music and my dad's, if my dad didn't know the words to a song, he would just make shit up. And
Yeah.
hence the nitty gritty dirt band song, "You and Me Going Pissing in the Park."
Sure. Doesn't matter. That it resonates.
It's
And then that
but it's how
I
it's the emotion of music. It doesn't matter how you got
yeah.
it. And Michael Jackson had that. He had that, and then like with the Thriller video, like, which was a mini frickin' movie, isn't it? Like
It
10 minutes
was. It
long.
was yeah, it
Like
was
it's
like so
like
good. Like literally so
and
good. There's a
it's like
plot. There's like there's a rising action, a falling action. There's an enemy. I mean, like everything about it is fantastic. But I'm like, and obviously a contribution of Michael Jackson into the like, and definitely whoever is promoting him. I mean, and who doesn't forget "Beat It" or Billie Jean with the guys walking on the street with the
yeah,
tiles,
Billy
you know,
yeah, where the sidewalk tiles laid up,
or
or
the like what music awards was it
Black or
where he did the
White.
moonwalk?
What's that?
He did the moonwalk. I think it was one of the black award shows or whatever,
No,
um,
it was Billie
where he
Jean,
did the
wasn't it? That he
moonwalk.
did the moonwalk for the
No, I
first
know,
time.
but there was a like where he actually premiered the moonwalk. Like he didn't do the moonwalk in any video. It was an award show, and Michael came on. I think it was I hate saying Michael. It's not like we're buddies. It was like not. There's a black facility through which black people watch black culture, and they had an award show or an anniversary celebration. Like, just Google when did Michael Jackson do the moonwalk first, and it'll tell you.
Okay,
And
he won all kinds of MTV music awards.
and he performed Billie Jean, and he did the moonwalk. Anyway, it doesn't matter that much. But one thing that you said earlier that um, you're talking about the man in the mirror, and no one knew like I do. Like, you're one of my best friends. Like, oh, I'm gonna fill the quota. Second time I say something nice about you. I fucking love you.
uh, so
Like,
so he's
I
gonna
win
be
the
a dick.
scramble. I
He's
win
gonna
the
be a
scramble.
dick for the. So he's gonna be a dick for the next two podcasts.
No, is that like I like like you don't need to navel gaze. Like, you live your life the right way. Like, you're not burdened by insecurity or any other kind of tomfuckery, and you try to do right by other people. And you said man in the mirror, and I'm glad that you consider that an interesting philosophy, but you already do that. You don't need a song to inspire you. But let me tell you, the song on Thriller, Human Nature, was written by Steve Porcaro, who is one of the three Porcaro brothers who are part of Toto. And he was asked, "Don't worry, hold on, just keep your hand on the flag." And Quincy Jones goes, "You guys got anything else?" And Steve Porcaro wrote this song called "Human Nature," and it was what inspired the song was his daughter came home from school and she was being bullied. And she's like, "I don't know why they do that to me." And he's like, "I'm trying to figure this out and trying to explain it to my daughter." And he goes, "It's human nature." And it's like, I don't understand. And he's like, "You know what? Some people are just the way they are." And he wrote that song. And then, like maybe a year later, whatever, Quincy's like, "You got anything else?" And he throws it out there. And then it became the song Human Nature. And maybe it talks about, she knows I'm watching and all that bullshit. But truthfully, the song was generated from an experience that his daughter had that he tried to convey in music and whatever. Steve Porcaro, Toto.
So again, if Dabney, like this is my personal advice for you if you're listening to this podcast. Do not take advice from your uncle on how to talk about music. He is the biggest music nerd on the freaking planet. I love you, man. I really do. But when you get personal, when you talk about stuff, it's not the nerd shit, it's the personal stuff that people listen to. I'm I'm not wrong. Um
Isn't it that way?
uh by the way, because you brought up human nature and I'm looking
I love
at
that's my favorite song on Thriller for sure.
but I'm
And by
looking
the way,
at
total yacht.
the lyrics and I've like there's parts of the lyrics I've had conversations with my family going, well, like
Why?
I'm
Why
like why? Like
do they
I'm
do it
like
that way?
everybody else. Why? Like why? Well, it's human nature to make fun of things that are different than you. Um, like okay, we can't go there right now
Yeah, you know
we're
what? I'll
getting
say
close to
this
the end
though.
of the podcast.
All right, let,
But
let me let me jump let me jump in if you don't mind. It's like
yeah, please.
um uh understanding it doesn't mean that we got to accept it. It's almost like the worst things you can do to your enemies is pity them. It's like, I wish you were more enlightened. I wish that you possessed like an inner sanctimony or inner, like where you could like respect yourself enough that you could that enough that you didn't need to feel better about yourself by denigrating other people. But it's human nature that there are people out there that don't possess that that um, the calmness of personal acceptance, and they have to look elsewhere, and that's when they do damage to other people. And it's like, can we truly pity them? I don't know. Aspirationally, I'd like to, but practically, I'd rather kick their ass. But even so, uh, they're not going to learn anything, and I'll end up pitying them even more because now they have a black eye. All I'm saying.
But all I know is when you look at a song like that one, Human Nature, like where you go, why are they doing this to me? One thing you have to say to yourself as a person that dealt with that, it's not your fault.
Yes,
It's not your
exactly.
fault. It's
Human
and
nature.
that's it and is that is a good transition into the end of our podcast because I want to go into this on that the last Wednesday of the month, which I believe is the 25th, is Pink Shirt Day. I am doing a live stream. It is Wednesday, the February 25th, talking about bullying. And one thing that you need to know is it's not your fault. And that song says that, and that means everything. And this was the Bold and Short of It podcast. But before we leave, I do need to thank Davney for joining us. New to the radio school, she's in her second year, and she is fantastic.
Dean's
Uh,
List.
Dean's List, and I'm looking forward to listening to her show. It is tomorrow, which is Wednesday at 6. So her show is every week on Wednesday at 6. Am I right?
NR Radio, NR92.com, Wednesday, 6 to 8.
Yes.
Turntable
And
Rebellion. Best name ever.
and 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 the fact that she brings in her own like vinyl, which is fantastic.
So proud
Uh,
of my niece. Well, it's
oh,
like your
she
niece too.
I
Your
like
brothers. Yeah.
I
I love that you
I'm
guys are
proud.
talking. I love that you guys are talking about that. That
I'm
was
proud
really
of her.
cool.
Like she did really cool. It did really good. I'm actually gonna
She's going to be
send
around
her.
for the kid's birthday on the 13th too at
I'm gonna
Sherbrooke.
actually send her some of my early private stuff that I like when I
You should
started
you
in
should send
radio.
her the video of you and Rick from
No, yeah, yeah,
Rick
yeah.
Nielsen.
She doesn't. She does not want to do an interview with Rick Nielsen. That.
All right.
But this was the Bold and Short of It podcast. I
Love
am
you,
James
Jimmy.
P. White. That is Chris Mooney, and quit choking. Okay,
See
talk
you
to you
next
next
week,
time.
folks.